Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Stade Adrar here in Agadir on the Moroccan west coast. Perfect weather out there for this final round of matches in African World Cup qualifying Group E, as Mali host Uganda here in their sixth and final game. A bit of a dead rubber this one, with Mali already having clinched their place in the third and final round of World Cup qualifying on Thursday night with a 3-0 win away to Rwanda. We see there the current state of affairs in the group. Mali now with an insurmountable 4-point lead with one game left over Uganda. Their own chances of qualification rather scuppered by a 1-1 draw at home to Kenya on Thursday night. And only that thanks to a last-minute equaliser from Azizi Fahad Bayo, the top and indeed only scorer in this phase of the competition. As you can see though, perfect footballing conditions out there. We've just been watching the pitch get a last-minute little spray from the hoses just to make the surface nice and slick. It looks flat, it looks fast. The temperature is perfect, around about 20 degrees, very little in the way of wind out there as well, so really no excuses for either team really. They should be able to put on really quite a good show for us here today. Unfortunately, not a huge crowd here. With Agadir being a over 3,300 kilometre drive north from Bamako in Mali. The drive would take you about 45 hours if you didn't stop along the way. Those sort of logistics enough to put off even some of the most hardcore of supporters. Just waiting for the flags and teams to be led out onto this glorious looking pitch. Stadium here, well, originally part of Morocco's project to try and host the 2010 World Cup, which eventually went to South Africa instead. The stadium itself eventually finished in and opened in 2013, and a wonderful facility it is too. Really, just the officials mostly in the stadium here today. Now, these two teams did meet earlier in the group stage back on match day 2. That was back in Uganda, resulting in a 0-0 draw. That despite Murshid Yuko being sent off for Uganda roundabout on the hour mark. The Cranes were able to hold on for what seemed at the time a really valuable 0-0 win. That's the only points, in fact, that Mali have dropped in this group phase. 5 matches, 4 wins, 1 draw. They scored 10 goals and they've conceded none. So Mali already into the next round. One of 5 out of a possible 10 African sides already into what will be a home and away shootout in the third round. 10 teams, 5 matches, 5 places at the World Cup up to stakes. Mali already Group E winners. Egypt have already won Group F, Senegal Group H, Morocco Group I, and DR Congo have also won Group J. And over the next few days, we'll find out the group winners from Groups A, B, C, D, and G. Group A, Algeria will be strong favourites to go through there. Tunisia face a must-win game at home to Zambia in order to qualify from Group B. Nigeria, well, they have 1 foot in the next round ahead of taking on second place Cape Verde in Group C. Ivory Coast with a 1-point lead over Cameroon as well in Group D, ahead of their visit to Cameroon in their final match, just needing to avoid defeat to go through to the next round. And in Group G, South Africa with a 3-point lead over Ghana, who they visit on the final match day. As you said, the other teams already decided into the third round. Those matches to take place in March, and the draw for that stage will take place on the 27th of January. We don't know yet if that draw will be blind or seeded. We'll bring you that news as soon as we have it. So the teams getting ready to come out onto the pitch. As you can see, Mali there in their preferred all yellow strip today. The Eagles hoping to fly into the third round. A much changed team announced by coach Mohamed Magasuba. 9 changes, in fact, from the side that won 3-0 in Rwanda on Thursday. Plenty of changes for Uganda as well. 4 changes to the side that scraped that draw at home to Kenya last week. 5 changes, in fact. Go through those team lineups in a short while. Just a short delay here for the moment, waiting for the flags and teams to come out. Followed by, of course, the national anthems. It looks like we were just waiting for the cranes to take their place. Red tracksuit tops, but an all-white strip underneath for them. Their change strip. Their away strip for this competition. Plenty of big hitters on the bench for both sides. And fans of Ibrahima Kone will be disappointed to know that he is in fact starting on the bench today for Mali. 5 goals in his last 3 games for the national side, making him the top scorer in this group, and in fact the top scorer at this stage from any side from African qualifying round 2. Only Islam Slimani of Algeria, the Lyon striker, with 7 goals so far in 5 games, has scored more than Kone. Maybe he'll have a chance to add to his tally off the bench in the second half. Officials with a royal wave, and out come the flags. It's a pity there isn't a crowd for this one. Plenty of pride at stake for both sides here. Mali, well, they'll want another good result to take into that next round. Of course, they've also got the Africa Cup of Nations coming up next month as well, so a chance for the manager just to have a look at a few fringe players that he might want to take with him to that competition in Cameroon. Unfortunately, Mali unable to play their games at home at the moment after an edict from FIFA regarding the state of the stadium there. Now, for the national anthems, this is Le Mali. course, that was in fact the Ugandan national anthem, Uganda Land of Beauty, and this now the Malinese national anthem. So both anthems well received there, as we edge ever closer to kick-off in this final match for both sides in qualifying Group B. We have a look at the Mali team then. Only 2 players remain from the side that won 3-0 just on Thursday away to Rwanda, with Falai Sako and Charles Traore in a back 4. The rest of the side all shiny and brand new for this one, including Khalifu Koulibaly, rewarded for coming off the bench to score the third and final goal in that game. Match officials from Ethiopia. Here today, referee Tesema Bamlak and his assistants Samuel Temeskin and Belashu Tigle. The 4th official today, Bele Tadesse. Now 5 players coming into the side that drew a 1-1 at home to Kenya for Uganda. With Ismail Watenga coming in goal for his second cap, Mustafa Kiza and Livingston Malundo come in at the back. And further forwards, Alan Okello and Ibrahim Orit as well, coming into the starting 11. Coach Mulatin Sredovic looking to the future and now looking to the past, with a minute's silence for the sad passing of the much-loved Baba Diarra, the General Secretary of the Mali Football Federation. Well, that was a quick minute. Slightly squeezed, I think, by our schedule. Teams prepare then for kick-off. Referee Bamlak with a final check of his watch, and we're underway here then at the Stade Adra in this final Group E game in African World Cup qualifying. Mali in yellow, the hosts here in Morocco, kicking from left to right, up against Uganda in their all-white away strip here. Mali already assured of progress from the group, 4 points ahead with just 1 game to play. With a much changed side, plenty of young players there looking to make their mark. Not least in goal with Ismail Diawara, who yet to have a touch yet, making his debut, the Malmo goalkeeper. Long ball over the top, searching for the runner round the back, but a little bit too much juice on that one, and it skips quickly through for a goal kick. The first touch of the game for Ishmael Watenga, the Vipers goalkeeper, getting his second cap today. They take the Mali side a little time to get into their groove here. Certainly expecting plenty of good defending to go on today. These sides between them, in their 5 matches each so far in this group stage, have conceded just a single goal. That was Uganda last time out in their 1-1 draw at home to Kenya. 89th minute equaliser from Bayo, the number 9. So first ball comes in, and a little bit of a lack of communication there. The goalkeeper perhaps edgy on debut. Man in front just choosing to put the ball behind. Maybe not a call coming in from Diawara, but he'll need to be a little more commanding of his box now as his first corner prepares to be swung in. Looks like it's going to be an in-swinger. Pipped into the near post, but flicked on there by Malundo. Gets too much on it, goes behind for a goal kick. Very disappointing delivery, really. Needed a bit more height on that one. Good idea. Just the execution slightly lacking. Oh, Sacco. Instantly recognisable with the Mohican haircut. Nice ball down the channel. Swung in, decent delivery. One in the air, but there's no one to pick up the flick from Doumbia. Or from Doumbia's cross, I beg your pardon. Gets the ball again over on this right-hand side. It will be interesting to see just how the formation shakes out for Mali. They've been playing in a 4-5-1 for all their other group games. There's a possibility they might, they certainly have the personnel anyway to put out a slightly more attacking looking 4-4-2 if they want. They're spaced down the right-hand side. Doumbia seeing plenty of the ball early on. Out into space. Not the best of passes, slightly behind the man, but still space to run into. Cuts inside, thinks about the shot. Goes for the cross, cut out. And the spinning ball picked up by Charles Traore. Tidied up. Mali retaining possession. Another ball whipped in, flicked on, but a bit of a miscommunication, but there's space over on this near side for Sacco. Thinks about the cross, turns it back instead to Doumbia. Being shown in onto his weaker left foot there. Good defending from Uganda, keeping their shape nicely at the moment. Doumbia pulling the strings at the moment, still hanging around in that central area, looking to receive the ball again. Said it's Kouame. Doumbia, lots of space to work with. Finds Sacco. And the pass intercepted, that'll be a Mali throw. It's Mohamed Makasuba, the Mali coach. Very cool and calm and collected there on the sidelines. And the ball quickly won. A chance for a counter-attack here for Uganda, but the out ball, just a little bit too much juice on it. And for Hadbayo, no chance of getting on the end of that. And Mali will build up from the back once more. Maybe a bit of space to use over on that left-hand side, but Siniyoko's run was ignored. Come back to this near side, and Sacco again. Thinks about trying to turn his man, thinks better of it. Goes back to Koulibaly, Sissoko. Plenty of French connections in this Mali side. 7 French-based players in the starting 11. And there's Milutin Sredojevic, the Uganda coach, his second spell, in fact, in charge of the Cranes. Initially in charge, 2013 to 17. Ending with the taking the Cranes to their first AFCON since 1978, when they qualified for the 2017 edition. 39 years they waited. Went out in the group stage with 1 point from 3 matches, then qualified again 2 years later, came second in their group behind Egypt, but lost 1-0 to Senegal in their last 16 knockout match. Certainly signs of progress, though it's not been a great year for Uganda, as Sako clears a messy ball into the box. Now a chance maybe for a bit of space on the inside. That's a lovely ball through on goal. The keeper goes down, but the flag goes up. Oh, Koulibaly with his head in his hands. Did he just not quite time the run? Let's have a look. He's clearly offside. Good to see an early flag from the linesman as well. No VAR in use, so the officials having to sort themselves out rather than leaning on a video screen. Now another chance, and there's definitely space for Doumbia to come into the box. Good hanging ball in, but the header not controlled from Sinayoko. I actually thought that maybe Doumbia and Sinayoko might be on opposite flanks to start with. There's still room for them to swap to and fro as they want. Sinayoko starting on the left and Doumbia on the right. It does look like they've got 2 guys to try and find in the box when they do get wide. Both Koulibaly and Bilal Touré making runs forwards. Sako tries to kid himself at a throw-in, but the ball goes Uganda's way. 9 minutes in. Not a lot of goal mouth action yet, but both teams just finding their feet. Mali with most of the possession so far, but Uganda certainly threatening with some pace on the break. What can Mali do here? I suspect their best chance of breaking down this Uganda defence is to try and pull them out of their shell a bit. You can see there they got 2 banks of 4 and a 5th man. Defending higher up the pitch. Giving the ball away cheaply there. Smaseku, the captain, keeps the ball moving. Nice little 1-2. Ball out wide here to Sako, providing the outlet. Does a give and go, doesn't get it back. And that ball cut out. It was meant for Koulibaly. Uganda win a free kick from Bayo, just being obstructed there as he had his back to goal, trying to hold the ball up. Have a look here, just a little nibble. That was Koulibaly, I think. So, still 0-0. No real chances yet. Ball played long to this near side. Sako beaten in the air by Kiza. Well, that miskicks the cross and the ball lost in midfield, an attempt at a foul and then a second little shove in the back, and it's still with Mali. And there's a room now for Koulibaly, comes inside, spots the man out on the left, looking to cut onto his right foot, thinks about the shot, it's blocked. 2 men in the way. And And then Traore pinged for the foul as he went to try and win that loose ball. I think he's taken a bit of a whack to the ankle as well. In fact, it's probably more of a knee to knee there. He has got quite a lot of strapping on that right knee of his. Hopefully hasn't exasperated any existing injury with that little clash. Slightly shanked clearance, I think, from Wetenga. It works out well for Uganda. Traore again pinged for the foul. Just not quite getting there ahead of his man. Peep of Tima Bamlak's whistle there. Didn't know it was a free kick and not the throw. Chipped forwards to the edge of the area, headed away by Traore. Traore again. Nice footwork in the middle there from Smaseku. In fact, rather, sorry, Kouame. And Mali now with a chance to break it, but Koulibaly was clearly offside. For the ball, so Sissoko to Koulibaly, out to Sakho on this near side. Again, the Moussa Doumbia from Reims, one of 7 French-based players in the side. He's had a fairly effervescent start to the game so far, seeing plenty of the ball, providing a bit of fizz to that midfield. A nice little ball off the outside of the boot for Sakho to chase here. Good defending just to block that ball. Sakho gets it back again though. Can't manoeuvre the ball onto his right foot. And the ball comes in from Kouame, but a little bit aimless. Apology from the Troyes midfielder. That'll be a goal kick for Uganda. No scares yet for the visitors. They'll be trying to think about, certainly, Sredojevic, the coach there in camera, will be thinking about the future at the moment. They've already failed to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations coming up next month in Cameroon. They needed a draw or better in their final group game away to Malawi, but lost 1-0 to an early goal. Couldn't get it back, and that allowed Malawi to qualify for the tournament ahead of them, so they'll have next month off. Looking to blood some youngsters for the future, which they've by and large done. During this group phase, it's quite a young group of players in white, and even younger than usual today with some of the changes that have been made by the coach. That's a nice ball through. Again, Doumbia is blocked off by Kiza. Malemi does well there to battle his way out of a corner and wins himself a free kick. Both Malemi and Kiza capable of playing sort of left back or wing back or midfield, so we can look for those two to be fairly fluid down this Ugandan left. Ball over the top from Wetenga goes straight through to his opposite number, Ismail Diawara. Hardly had a touch so far in this opening 15 minutes. On debut has the Eagles goalkeeper. Nice ball out to this near side for Doumbia again. Cuts back inside, doesn't quite take on his man. Well kept in by Sakho. Building up again from the back. Here's Sissoko. Space out on the left for Traore. Tries to make space with the run, but they cut inside instead. Loose touch given away in midfield. Now maybe a chance on the counter-attack here. It's a nice ball through. Going to be some desperate defending here as Bayo forces his way into the box. But eventually gives away the free kick. Good defending from Senu Koulibaly. Dijon defender certainly cutting the mustard on that occasion. Koulibaly just getting his arm in front, getting his body in front, and then just a little tug on the left arm from Bayo. And the opportunity was gone, but that was a warning shot for Mali. Dominating possession, but they can't be slack in possession. Alal Toure picked up the ball on this near side in a bit of space. A teammate took a little bit of a clip there as Alcho, the Ugandan captain, tries to play the out ball, but it's straight to the defenders, and now Kouame runs at them and wins himself a free kick. Agricultural challenge coming in from Yarahanga. Now will Mali load up the box here with the big lads from the back. Just lunging in there, nowhere near the ball. Can't afford too many of those before yellow cards start to come out. Now Doumbia. Prepares to take this one. Lined up on the edge of the area. The Mali players, plenty of room in behind that line as well for a perfectly flighted ball. They've got 5 men on the edge of the box waiting to attack. Ball comes in, it's headed on, the keeper's going out of nowhere and it's in, 1-0. Catastrophic goalkeeping from Ismail Watenga, ended up all at sea. And it's Khalifa Koulibaly picking up where he left off on Thursday against Rwanda. Well, the ball in was decent, but no more, and it's just been flicked on. Look at the keeper there. He's on the edge of his 6-yard box. He tried to come, he couldn't get there, and then he's tried to use his feet to claw the ball out. Well, that's really a gift, isn't it? See it again from here. Just headed on. And the keeper at 6s and 7s. And that's a really soft way to concede a second goal in 6 matches for the Cranes. They've had their wings clipped on that one. So Mali, having dominated possession, hadn't really threatened very much at all there, but the first free kick, a decent delivery in. A rush of blood to the head for Ismail Watenga, and just his second international cap. Bound to be a few nerves there. And they certainly showed up on that occasion. Perfect start for Mali though. A makeshift side, second string as you might say. Already a goal up and on the attack here again with Sinayoko. Back to Saka. All back in, headed away this time. One on the edge of the area, the ball. Well, Kouame trying to wrap his foot around that one from long range. And to be fair, I think the keeper was off his line a little bit again, so having spotted that, the keeper may not be as close to his line as he might be. The players will be looking up, seeing if he's available for the chip. Charles Traore penalised for that challenge. We'll come back to have the free kick taken from the correct place. Uganda need a little bit of the ball here. Try and give themselves a chance to open up this Mali defence. And the shot comes in. It was nicely laid off, but not very well struck in the end by Yarahanga. Vipers midfielder. Bio certainly gave him all the room. It sat up nicely for him. Really needed to take that off the outside of the boot, or maybe with the left foot instead. Remember, this Mali defence has not conceded yet in 5 and a bit matches in this group phase. They've now scored 11 goals to no reply. And as things stand, would be going through to the third round with an extra win under their belt, a bit of extra momentum ahead of those vital playoff matches in March. So far, 5 teams out of 10 have been decided in those knockout qualifiers. So Mali are joined by, ooh, that's a risky one from Watenga. Uganda trying to play out from the back, and it very nearly worked as well, but that's been cut out by Sako. Nice little turn from Sinayoko. Again, well won in midfield, but the free kick goes against Mali. Pretty solid challenge coming in from Aucho. Captain on captain, in fact. I think it was Smaseku went in for that one. You wouldn't expect the captains to pull out of a challenge. There is a face that you wouldn't want to see across a poker table from, sit across a poker table from, would you? Inscrutable. But yeah, Mali so far, one of 5 teams already qualified for that third round, along with Egypt, Senegal, Morocco and DR Congo. Some heavyweights from African football already there. Those ties would be on a home and away basis. 10 teams, 5 ties, 5 places at the 2022 World Cup available for the winners. Ball given away. Orit tries to make something happen over on that right-hand side, but that's a lovely little back heel from Smaseku. Gets the ball back again, just calms things down. Koulibaly out to Sako again. Fature Guimaraes, full-back, seeing plenty of the ball so far in this match. Playing mostly, in fact, as a centre-back in recent national games, but he's back. Perhaps his preferred position as right back so far, and he's played well too. Another nice little overlapping run from Sako and a teasing ball in. But this time the header from Koulibaly loops into the hands of Watenga, who this time stayed on his line. If only be thinking, if only I'd done that earlier. Goes long with the goal kick, but way too long. Straight through to Diawara again. Not the first time we've seen that. Maybe a few nerves are putting a bit of extra juice on those goal kicks. The ball is lifted over the top, and Watenga this time safely off his line to gather that one on the edge of his area. And maybe some space here now for Uganda. The ball forward, just a little bit aimless, picked up by Kouame. Sako drifts that ball for the run of Sinayoko. It's a good run as well. He cuts back inside. He's got support coming up for him here. He's got Bilal Toure, who turns back. Maybe the momentum of the attack has just been lost here, but there's still more space for Sinayoko to look up. Rather scuffed his cross, though. May get another go in a moment. Uganda playing the way out, and a free kick won against Sako there. It's the challenge invited by Mustafa Kiza. Wins his tide a free kick and a chance to relieve the pressure. Just a clever bit of play there from Kiza, just inviting the challenge. Using his body to shield the ball. 25 minutes in, Mali 1, Uganda 0. Long ball over the top. Picked up by Sako. Lofted forwards. Sinayoko couldn't get the The ball round the corner has been picked up by Smaseku. Spreads the ball out to Traore on the far side, on the Mali left. No way through there, they come back central again. Kouame taking his turn to drop deep. Bilal Touré, who's been quiet so far, the Mali number 9, also dropped deep there to provide a decoy. Good running so far. Oh, that would have been a very dangerous ball through. I wonder if Bilal Touré had stayed on side there. Guess we'll never know now, as the pass was well cut out. That was a potentially defence-splitting ball. Kouame. Sacco with a misplaced pass, and a ball won high up the pitch by Bayo, but they've had to go backwards to go forwards. Nicely played through and then hoofed out of danger by Senu Koulibaly. The ball given away this time by Malemi. Bilal Touré with a heavy touch as he tried to take it past the defender and bear in on goal. Uganda survive once more. Just evidence that perhaps the game is starting to open up a little bit. I think Charles Traore has to be a little bit careful here. That's what, the 3rd or 4th foul that he's given away so far. None of them have been bad fouls, but if you keep doing that, eventually you will end up in the book. Nice ball in. Bit of a stretch on the defence, and then the shot across goal and just wide of the upright, fizzed across there by Ibrahim Orit. Scruffy defending from Mali, failing to clear their lines. They had a couple of chances to get the ball out of danger, failed to do so. Poor control from Traore. And there's claims for a corner here. I just wonder if Diawara got a touch on that one. First save he's had to make. Let's have a look here. He maybe does just get a fingertip. I think it was just swinging wide anyway. But the keeper had to be safe. Better to be safe than sorry now. Here comes the corner. This time they go for the far post, and it's just over the upright. Well, where was the marking? In fact, there's going to be another corner. Was that a defensive head on it? Looked like Bevis Mugabe, the Motherwell centre-back, got his head on this. Let's have a closer look. Actually, I think it might have been Koulibaly. Inadvertently heading it over his own bar. Let's have a look here. He has as well. Well, Koulibaly knew nothing about that, and they've been very lucky, Mali. As that ball comes into the near post, and it's into the side netting. And the Mali defence again looking a little sluggish there. Nobody busting a gut to cover that front post. That's the second time I think Uganda have gone for that near post corner, so something that they've obviously been working on in training. Maybe something they've spotted. There's a potential weakness at the back for Mali. Be interesting to see what they do the next time they get the chance from a corner. This makeshift defence has looked a bit, shall we say, vulnerable to the set piece so far as the ball is put out of play for a stoppage. Now the referee wants to have a word, was having a word certainly with Diadi Smaseku. Not quite sure though why Mali put the ball out of play. They might expect to be given the ball back here. Indeed they are. They're rather further back down the pitch than they actually were. They were more or less in midfield and the ball was put out, but still. Good to see Uganda adhering to some semblance of sportsmanship as Mali now half an hour in, 1-0 up. Look to come forwards again. question is, Uganda really got nothing to lose here. They're already 1-0 down. At some point you think they're going to have to open up. That ball over the top isn't quite picked up by Bilal Touré. And a scruffy challenge coming in from Koulibaly. Uganda trying to play their way through midfield, just about getting away with that one. They haven't progressed though, but some nice touches there on the halfway line. And then the dinked ball over the top, well dealt with by Sissoko. Sissoko, the number 12. Started off the season as a regular at Standard Liège. He's only 21 years old, made his professional debut for Liège back in February of this year. Got sent off on match day 7 against Anderlecht, hasn't really played much since, and it's Uganda on the attack, and a scuffed shot goes wide. Not the best of strikes from Alain Okello. Currently at Paradu AC in Albania. It opened up for him, the challenges didn't come in. He could maybe have taken another step or two to his left to open up the goal even more, but rather snatched at that one. Doumbia, who was very bright, buzzing in the opening 15-20 minutes or so. Haven't seen much of him since the goal though. The attempted clearance from Traoré deflected out for a throw. So after this, the next competitive match for Mali will be at the African Cup of Nations. Their tournament due to start off on the 12th of January, a few days after the opening fixture. They're in Group F this year, starting up with a tough-looking match against Tunisia, followed by games against Gambia and Mauritania. Maybe a case of a little bit of damage limitation in that opener and try and get their points from the other two matches. Tunisia will be, I think, big favourites to come through that group. 6 groups and 16 teams to go through, so 4 out of 6 third-place teams also can have a place in the last 16. Mali will expect to progress at the very least, I think. Now another set piece to be defended here. 5-6 guys up for Uganda. Decent ball in. Glanced away. Sako just gets there first as well, and a chance for the counter-attack here. Well picked up by Touré. Bilal Touré again, but he goes backwards, and he's got, what, 5, 6, 7 players in front of him. Uganda now getting back into their defensive shape, and the chance of the counter is gone. That's nice play, though, in midfield. Opening up space. The ball now to Kouame. Back out to Sako on this near side at right back today, rather than moving from centre back. A lot of competitive games coming up in the early part of next year for Mali, and they'll hope for some nearer the end of the year as well. Mustafa Kizza goes down wanting his free kick, gets what he wanted as well. It does look as if Kizza is playing more as the midfielder today, with Isaac Malemi settling in more at left back, maybe the number 20. Twisting and turning is Akello, dropping deep here. Nice ball spread out onto this near side, and it's Mulemi. Here's Kiza. Two left midfielders combining nicely down this near side. They do get a throw in. Wasn't the best of crosses in the end, just a small deflection on it. Ocho clips the ball in. It's been headed away. Mali just under a bit of pressure here. Uganda pressing forward. More importantly, just starting to keep hold of the ball a little bit better as well. Another throw in. Ooh, space on the edge of the area here. Bernhanga runs into trouble. And then it's Bayo who gives away the free kick. Does his best to look innocent. Just a little bit clumsy. Saka. Doumbia. So not seen much of the ball the last 15 minutes or so. 27-year-old, currently based in Reims. Oh, he's struggling for a bit of game time there. Maybe struggling for full match fitness. We'll see how that develops in the second half. With a nice little scooped ball down the left-hand side, eventually picked up. Kouame fades one challenge. Oh, a nice little step over Sinioko, but couldn't quite kid the defender. It's Mulemi. Best of first touches, and it results in Mali coming back into possession. Koulibaly. Nicely played through. Good play again from Kouame. And there was a bit of a nudge. Referee Tassema Bamlak blows his whistle again. Had a good first half as the referee. Mali aren't going to take any undue risks here. They're 1-0 up. They're already through to the next round anyway, despite no matter what happens in this game. Be interesting to see what they do in the second half with this 1-0 lead, Mali. Do they go for a bit more, seeing as they have really nothing to lose? Or do they try and keep their powder dry? Already got most of their squad players on the pitch here. A lot of the big hitters sat on the bench today for Mali. Nice play from Sinioko to make a little bit of space. Back to Traore. So just over 5 minutes to go before the break. Certainly, Kouame starting to see more and more of the ball in this first half. His captain, Smaseku, having more of a defensive brief, it seems, so far. Certainly the way it seems to be working out. The high press doesn't quite come off for Mali on this occasion. And there's space now on this near side for Mulemi. Turns inside, but rather looks like he should rather shinned that attempted ball forwards. Kiza unable to keep the ball in play. Coach Magasuba looking a little restless on the sideline. I wonder if he's got a few choice words for his side at the break. And this will be very much a team in development. There's a experience on the bench. Plenty of changes can be made as well. The likes of Kiki Kiate, Amani Traore, Aliou Dieng, currently he won the Player of the Week in Egypt just before the national break. And both Adama Traore's as well. They can certainly make plenty of attacking and experience changes if they want to, Mali, but they might just want to stick with these younger, less tested players, really see what they're made of. Good challenge coming in from the captain, Smaseku. His opposite number, Aucho, who comes away with the ball. Picked up by Watenga, quite a long way out of his area. Quite close to putting that into the path of Koulibaly there, but I think he knew what he was doing. Ooh, Traore with a rather uncertain defensive header, shall we call it. Picked up by Diawara, now Sako. Just get the impression now that Mali are just looking to play out the clock now to get to the break at 1-0. Control the game. Not expend too much energy. So it doesn't seem to be a huge amount of hard running going on out there, as Doumbia tries to inject a little bit of pace. A lot of the game very much at a walking pace at the moment. Attempted cross-field ball, a good idea. Doumbia was in acres of space, he had half the pitch to himself. Just a slight miss-hit from Charles Traore, the Nantes left-back. It's a regular left-back is Charles Traore. 29 years of age. Nantes currently 10th in Ligue 1. After a 2-2 draw at home to Strasbourg last time out. Bit of a clatter there. Just over a minute to go before the break again, Mali. Taking the no-risk approach to the end of this first half. Doumbia does well to keep the ball in. Gets the ball back to Koulibaly. Sissoko with room to bring the ball forwards, but instead he spreads the ball out to Traore, who lifts the ball in. It's been missed in the air. And the flick on, picked up by Ismail Watenga. And to be fair, apart from that rush of blood to the head for the Mali goal, has actually looked quite assured back there. Helped by the defence in front of him. Marshalling the Mali attack by and large pretty well. One mistake, one goal for Mali, and that is the difference between the two sides as we approach half-time. Martin Sredijevic will be largely happy with the performance of his side. As we come into half-time. Half-time here in World Cup qualifying Group E in Africa. It's Mali 1, Uganda 0. Goal coming from Khalifu Koulibaly in the 19th minute. Decent free kick lofted into the box. The keeper came off his line, stopped in the middle of no man's land, and a looping header went into the top corner. The keeper would have probably stopped if he stayed on his line. In the end, a desperate lunge, not enough to keep the ball out of the net. And that, the difference between these two sides. An experimental lineup. 9 changes to their previous match, but it's Mali that lead by 1-0 here at home to Uganda in their final match here in World Cup qualifying Group E, with their place in the third and final round of African qualifying already assured, along with Egypt, Senegal, Morocco and DR Congo. So the teams coming back out onto the pitch here at the Stade Adra in this 6th and final round of matches in African Qualifying Group B for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Mali here at home in Morocco against Uganda, our hosts in yellow, our visitors in white, and it's Mali that hold a 1-goal lead. The man there, the big number 10, Khalifa Koulibaly, taking his 2nd goal in as many games for the Eagles. Helped by a catastrophic error of judgment, it has to be said, from Ismail Watenga. The Uganda goalkeeper just playing for his national side for the 2nd time in his career. Came off the line, got stuck in the middle of nowhere, and it was just a very harmless-looking looping header. Went over the top and in. At the other end there, Ismail Diawara on debut the Malmo reserve goalkeeper, well, the number 2, shall we say, at Malmo. Has had very little to do. So underway here then in the second half of this 6th and final match for both sides in African World Cup qualifying Group F. I beg your pardon. Sorry, Group E. As Mali lead by a goal to nil. Their place in the 3rd and final round of World Cup qualifying already sewn up before this match after a 3-0 win away to Rwanda in the last round of matches, and there's a little shove there from Charles Traoré. Ibrahim Orit, the Vipers winger, getting himself a free kick. A good opportunity here, early doors, for Uganda to put some pressure on this makeshift Mali back line. They've looked a little uncertain under pressure from set pieces, certainly in the early in the first half. So Ismail Diawara on debut in goal for the Eagles. Maybe a little tentative early in the match. Musa Doumbia is the one-man wall. This is going to be swung in. There's, what, 6 men in and around the 6-yard box for Uganda. Plenty of height and power in there. All it needs now is a good delivery. Swung into the back post, headed in and down, but wide, I'm afraid, from Fahad Bayo. Well, if Uganda are going to look to get back into the match, it's Bayo who's going to be the main man for them. Currently based in Ashdod in Israel. He scored 3 goals in 5 matches in this second qualifying phase in African World Cup qualifying. The big problem for Uganda really is that those are the only 3 goals they've scored. If Bayo doesn't score, no one else does. And for all their good play throughout the group stage, a few more goals would certainly have helped. But they've ended up really drawing too many matches. They've drawn 3 out of 5 matches so far. Started with a 0-0 away to Kenya. And there was a 0-0 at home to Mali, which is actually a very good result. But then a tight 1-0 win away to Rwanda. A tight 1-0 win at home to Rwanda as well. And then that disappointing 1-1 draw at home to Kenya. If they had managed to win that game, then there would still have been something on this match. With an extra 2 points, they'd have been on 11, just 2 points behind. And although it might seem unlikely that they could get a win here away to Mali, you just never know when the pressure's on. A single mistake, a single moment of brilliance, and anything can happen. As it is, this game, nothing really on it. Pride and a chance to impress for the players who've been brought in place of more established stars of the side in both cases. Ooh, given away on the edge of the area, slack pass from Smaseku. And there's still an opportunity here. Kiza throws his man the wrong way, gets a good ball in, and the header, well, it's come off the defender. I think Traoré got across. Just did enough to put Bayo off. That's really good play, though, on the left flank there from Mustafa Kiza. His first start of this group phase, good ball in. And Traoré just deflecting that behind for a corner. So more defending from the set piece here again. 6 men in and around that 6-yard box for Uganda. Not going to go down without a fight here. Nothing to lose. All into the near post. They've been certainly be doing a lot of those near post set pieces so far of Uganda. Obviously believe Mali are weak there. Ooh, flicked on and a chance to run on, but I think, yeah. Sinayoko just offside as that ball was played forward. Bevis Mugabe there, the Uganda number 5. Probably enjoying the warm weather here. Based with Motherwell up in Scotland. This time of year, well, it's generally down around freezing or so, but he should be used to that, having been born and bred in London. Had a relatively quiet game so far. He just hasn't had that much to do, to be honest. Before the goal, Mali, plenty of pressure, fizzing crosses into the box, but they were all really well dealt with, to be fair. Since the goal, they've just taken their foot off the throttle a little bit, taking less risks. And to be fair, Uganda have pushed them back a little bit more as well, especially early in this second half. It will be interesting to see if Uganda can keep that momentum coming forwards. Really make a game of it here. As the ball goes over the top. Lovely first touch, but they're clearly offside. El Bilal Toure. Oh, that's a tight one, isn't it? Well, it would have been interesting to see what VAR would have said about that if we had it here. As it is, we've got a quick decision and we get on with the game. There's a bit more pace to the Uganda passing as well in midfield in this second half so far, as Bayo again wins himself a free kick. Slightly scruffy from Musa Sissoko, the Standard Liège defender. That looks about 30 yards out. That could well be in range. Now what do you do here? Do you put the ball on the moose? Yeah, he flattens the moose out. Just wonder if you left a bit of the moose there, if it might add a little bit of uncertainty to the ball flight. Three-man wall, 30 yards out. Baby-faced assassin there. He's going to try and slam this one from 30 yards out. Certainly taking a long enough run-up. A bit of arguing around the four-man wall. So this about, what, 31 yards out, dead centre. Over the wall. Oh, and just past the upright. What a strike that was. Well, Byariahanga really caught hold of this one. That's actually not all that far wide. The keeper may well have had it covered, but he's really put his laces through that one. Bobosi Byariahanga, not the most experienced of players, just 19 years of age. Another man, one of 4 Vipers players in the squad today. Oh, sorry, in the starting 11 today for Uganda. Now Mali, first time in this half it feels like, down in the near the Uganda box. Ball given away. Not quite so assured in possession so far in this second 45 are the hosts, Mali. That is befitting from a dead rubber. The game has been played in pretty decent spirit so far. That's a lovely touch from Koulibaly. Drifts the ball up to the back post, headed away, has an important header, and then the strike comes in. Deflects wide, Koulibaly gets the ball again. Goes for the long pass back to Kouame. Kouame drives back in. Koulibaly needs to get back on side. He does now. Traore swings the ball in. Koulibaly with the header. Great save from Mwetenga. A little bump in the back from Senu Koulibaly. No relation, by the way. Oh, another look at this one. Ball comes in. Good header. And considering the ball was slightly behind him, he's done ever so well to get that much power on that one. Great timing with the neck muscles. From Bilal Toure. He's been the quieter of the two strikers so far as a nice ball comes into the Mali box, headed away. Better production from Malemi in this second half. He and Kiza combining well down that Ugandan left, but they've lost the ball now. Scooped forwards, but not kept in play by Kouame. It's a nice idea from Sako. 10 minutes into the second half. Still Mali 1, Uganda 0, but Uganda coming into the game more and more now. And again, attacking down the left-hand side. Ball swung into the header, and it's just wide of the upright. Well, that's as good a chance as they've had. And Ibrahim Orit, Vipers winger, couldn't quite get that one on target. He was under pressure from Traore. But you've got to test the keeper from there. Did well to go back across the keeper with the direction of the header. That's no good if it goes wide. Oh, and a scruffy ball. Smacked straight out of play by Senu Koulibaly. Inviting Uganda back onto them again. Well cut out by the Mali captain, but they've lost the ball again with an unfortunate deflection. Picked up on the edge of the area and all the shot straight into the back of Byario Hanga, getting in the way of the shot coming in. That was unfortunate. Ibrahim Orit, who just missed the header, was also heavily involved in that passage of play. Now Doumbia, who we thought might start on the left, but certainly seems to be over on the left in this second half. Seems to have swapped sides with Lassine Sinayoko. We'll see what that does for the balance of this Mali attack. Haven't seen much of it so far in this second half, to be fair. It's been mostly Uganda, and it's the Cranes again, pitching the ball forwards, but well played by Koulibaly, just about in the end, under duress. Wins himself a free kick. Nice turn inside from Doumbia. Sprints away from two players. He's got a man out on this left-hand side and he finds Bilal Toure. Toure looks up, but the cross back inside, just behind the forwards and easily cut out. And now there might be a bit more space here for Uganda. Orit with a scruffy first touch. Uganda do keep the ball, but the attacking momentum has gone. Long ball over the top, and the keeper's nowhere near this one. It's been picked up by Kiza. Looks up, goes to the near post. It's just been missed. Well, Fahad Bayo wants himself a penalty. The referee says no. But he looked like favourite to get to that ball. Now, what's Charles Traore done here? Lovely ball over the top. Kiza with all the time in the world to pick that ball to the near post. That's very good defending, actually. Now, has he missed it, or has the defender got there first? I'm going to put that down as some fantastic defending from Musa Sissoko. Not been playing so much for his club, Standard Liège, recently. But he was sharp enough to get a vital challenge in there. That could well have been 1-1. And if Uganda were to score, it would be the first goal that Mali have conceded in their 6 qualifying matches. in this second round of World Cup qualifying, or African World Cup qualifying. As it is, they keep their O. We hit the hour mark still. Mali 1, Uganda 0. Stays like this, Mali will qualify with 16 points from a possible 18. Only dropped points being from a 0-0 draw away in Uganda on match day 2 at the St. Mary's Stadium in Entebbe. A game that they'll feel they should have won after the sending off of Murshid Yuko on more or less the hour mark. Yuko, by the way, hasn't been back in the squad since then. May have to wait until next year to get another chance for the Cranes. Nice ball and a good run now. Can this be kept in play? Yes, it can. Good stuff from Bilal Toure. Doumbia takes on his men. He had 2 on him. Got past the first, but the second man cut out the cross. That will be a Mali corner as we prepare ourselves for the first of what I'm sure will be many substitutions. Corner about to come in for Mali. I think it's the first of this second half. Go to the near post. They've missed the flick on, and then after a series of ricochets, that'll be another Mali corner. Not quite sure what Khalifa Koulibaly is claiming. Maybe just in case someone wants to do a handball now. Going to have some substitutions. In fact, we're going to wait till after the corner for the substitutions. This looked like the referee had signalled for those subs to take place. It's been flicked on at the near post again, loops up in the air and taken suspiciously low down by Ismail Watenga. Someone had come in to challenge him there. His hands would have been too low. Maybe evidence of a few more nerves for the Uganda stopper. Nice ball over the top, well dealt with by Sissoko. And that had to be cut out by Traore, as Bayo was free on this near side. And we're going to have another free kick here in a dangerous position. And no surprise to see Babosi Biaruhanga, the first man to come over to the spot. It was Alan Okello who won the free kick. This is a lot closer in than his previous effort. Biaruhanga. He smashed one just wide of the upright from about 31, 32 yards. Being shown the whistle there by our referee, the experienced Tassema Bamlak. Now they've placed the ball. The wall is nowhere near 10 yards at the moment. Just claiming that Ugandan players have just moved the ball forwards a little bit. So this could be a big moment for Ismail Diawara on debut in goal for Mali. Now there's a left-right combination over this one. Isak Mulemi, the left back, with the shorter run-up. Or is it Biaruhanga thinking about taking this with his longer, straighter approach? So is it going to be smashed or curled? Look of concentration on Biaruhanga's face. You always wonder though. You always feel it's the last man to touch the ball who's actually going to take the free kick. We've just seen Biaruhanga take another look at that, and he's been told to move it 1 inch to the left. In fact, no, he's been told to move it a couple of inches backwards. And now the referee's got some of the foam on his boot. Now then, after all that, what can Biaruhanga come up with? He smashes it through again. Good stop and tucked in. Well, 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 Alan Okello, the man who won the free kick, but it's been disallowed. Let's have another look. Well, that's very good officiating, isn't it? He's just leaning forwards that little bit. Here's Okello. And the linesman has got that absolutely spot on. And for the first time today, Mohamed Magasuba is starting to look a little bit agitated over there on the sidelines. Aliou Dieng looks like he's warming up to come on. Regular in the Al Ahly lineup that's won the African Champions League the last 2 years in a row. Weren't all that impressive in the group stages this year, but he certainly came up with the goods in the knockout stages. A good bit of footwork there from Kouame. Now, here do come the substitutions. 3 of them, in fact. So on comes Adama Traore and Aliou Dieng. Coming off is... So Adama Traore comes on for Doumbia. That looked like Sinayoko coming off for the other Adama Traore. Aliou Dieng, the Egyptian player of the week last game before the break. Played a starring role in Al Ahly's 5-3 win away to arch-rival Zamalek. And he's going to come on for Kouane in midfield.
Okay. Fofana aussi, prépare-toi. Attends, prépare aussi, prépare les deux. On va les faire entrer. Attends un petit peu, il y en a un peut-être qui est rentré, Fofana à la fin.
So Aliou Dieng, midfielder, coming on for Kouane. Yeah. Oh, you just need to be careful here for a few moments as they bed in those substitutes. Lots of experience and expertise coming off that bench today. I think the two Traores are going to sort of settle out wide. So Martin Kizza, who's made some good runs down that left-hand side, comes off. To be replaced by Stephen Dese Makwala, the number 10. Very much a wide player for a wide player. Started all 5 games before this one. Comes back into the side now. Malemi will now continue in his role at left back for Uganda, leaving Stephen Makwala, 22-year-old, to push wider, push more forward. He's more of an attacking player, really, than Kizza. Plays for the Uganda Revenue Authority. Ball spread wide. Oh, just trying to get some attacking intent going here in this second half. Traore, though, giving away the free kick. 20 minutes to go. Mali 1, Uganda 0. But it's been mostly Uganda on the front foot in this second half. Towering defensive header picked up by Bilal Touré. Still no sign of Ibrahima Kone, their top scorer at this stage. An attempted dancing run from Okello. He thought he'd netted the equaliser a few minutes ago, but was rightly judged to be offside. Picking up a spilled ball from a well-struck Gyrohanga free kick. Bevis Mugabe looks somewhat upset to be penalised here. Khalifa Koulibaly, the man who's gone down. Let's have a look. Well, solidly wins the header. He's a big unit though, isn't it? You'd certainly know if he jumped into you. Yeah, Motherwell centre-back. Certainly be used to a fairly physical brand of football up there in Scotland. We're going to have another change here with Hamari Traore, usually the captain. Looking like he's about to come on. I don't think it's going to be for Koulibaly though. Oh, Mugabe and Koulibaly, two really big units. So Hamari Traore comes on. He normally plays at right back, and he's come on for Charles Traore, who's usually left back, so there'll probably be a bit of a shuffle here. Looks like it's Falai Sako, normally often a centre-back. Prefers to play at right back, and he's now been shuffled across to the left, having started the previous few games as a centre-back. So proving his use across the whole of the back line there for his manager, Mohamed Magasuba. It's Falai Sako. Surefire way, I think, of keeping his place in the squad for the Africa Cup of Nations in January. And he'll hope also for the third round qualifying tie against whoever it may be in March, with the place at the World Cup at stake. Potentially just after this match, Mali just potentially 180 minutes away from a first ever World Cup. They've never qualified in the past. It's so difficult to get through African qualifying with just 5 places at stake. So many good, strong teams vying for them. Yeah, blatant shove in the back there coming in from Musa Sissoko. Nothing very subtle about that. And I think Fahad Bayo, quite rightly, a little miffed at that one. Ball pumped in from long range. The header's been won, but it's an easy take for Diawara. did actually miss another change from Uganda, as Bobosi Bugarahanga came off to be replaced by Moses Waiswa, slightly more attacking player. Number 23, as Mali are on the attack, but that's brought away by Bevis Mugabe. Moses Waiswa, 24 years of age. Usually a regular starter in the side. Just signs that Uganda are with 15 minutes left, just trying to press forward a little bit more now. They have to be careful they don't leave too many gaps in behind. And worth remembering that this Mali side is pretty much a scratch team. Only 2 starters remaining, and this could be a first yellow card of the match here for Ibrahim Orit. In fact, it's not a yellow card. It looked fairly agricultural, this one. And he's really come round with the left leg. There's the challenge, and then the left leg just to hook round. That could be dangerous. And I think he could be feel himself quite lucky. He's not found his way into the referee's book. Maybe he forgot his pencil. A wry smile from the coach, Milutin Sredojevic. I think he'll be encouraged by what he's seen from his side, but they're still just lacking that little cutting edge up front, relying too much on Fahad Bayo for their goals. Just a reminder, they've only scored 3 goals in previous 5 matches. At the moment, they're on the way to scoring just 3 goals in 6 matches. Uganda, and all those goals coming from Fahad Bayo. They need to find another source of nettage, you feel, if they're going to carry more threat in the future. So they're already out of World Cup qualifying. They failed on the final day to get through Africa Cup of Nations qualifying, so they'll be watching January's tournament from afar, unfortunately. Ball over the top, but Koulibaly unable to latch onto it. Nicely defended, but a little bit of a press coming in here from Mali. Oh, that's a poor touch. Nice ball over the top and a good run, and they've rather got in each other's way there. Now I wonder. Koulibaly looked like he may have been onside, but it was the second runner. Let's have another look. Oof. Looked like they might have been both onside, and it was the captain, wasn't it? Smaseku running onto that one. They rather got in each other's way, and I think that might have been probably the first mistake we've noticed from the officials today, who have been ever so good. A team of Ethiopian officials. Hammered clear by Musa Sissoko, taking no chances there. 11 minutes to play. Okello. Nice little change of direction from Waiswa. Sako did well to block. Second ball comes in, the keeper thinks about coming for it. The ball's just headed up in the air, and well, it was all rather uncertain, wasn't it? Also, just by the way, Bevis Mugabe did indeed get the first yellow card of the game. A little earlier from what actually looked like a perfectly good challenge, just a big, strong aerial challenge. Didn't use his elbows by the looks of it. Counted himself a little bit unlucky. And that's well won in midfield. Smaseku looks up. Nicely timed run from Koulibaly, cuts the ball back, and it's been scuffed at goal. Adama Traore couldn't sort his feet out. And you could argue that could, maybe should, have been 2-0 Mali. Space opening up in midfield momentarily. Then the challenge comes crashing in on Okello. He's been winning a few free kicks in this second half. Really has come to light. Come to life even has the Paradou midfielder. Based in Albania. That was the scuffed effort from Traore. The number 21, Adama Traore. Plays with Sheriff Tiraspol, and he's had quite a season so far in the European Champions League. So Sacco tries to clear his lines, and eventually it is. Traore, Sheriff Tiraspol, their first ever Champions League group phase. Started off, well, he scored in fact in their 2-0 win over Shakhtar Donetsk in their first match. As they come forwards here again, Mali. Oh, and just wide of the upright. The other Traore, number 14, making space for the shot, cutting in from the right. And the Thai Sport attacking midfielder has put that one just past the upright. Good strong run. Stood up the defender well, cut inside onto his left peg. Made a bit of extra space and really made the goalkeeper stretch. We're going to get another change here as Okello comes off. It's replaced by Milton Carissa. So very much a like for like. Been out of the national squad for a couple of years, only came back in the squad for this game and the previous one against Kenya. Based in Kampala, 29. Sorry, based with Vipers, I beg your pardon. Been there since the summer of 2020, his second stint at the club. So just under 8 minutes to go. It's still Mali 1, Uganda 0, and just a couple of chances starting to open up at each end. Now, are Mali going to put the 3 points to bed, or are Uganda going to become the first team to actually score against Mali in these World Cup qualifiers? Koulibaly muscled off the ball. Pass a little bit short, got away with it. A good ball forwards has Sacco scurrying back towards his own goal, but he turns out of trouble, then turns back into trouble, then turns again. Did well to float that one down the sound line as Nevis Mugabe somehow shrugged off the ball and onto the ground. So Mali just edging their way towards that final whistle. Not the best of passes from Sissoko. Slightly jittery control from Amari Traore. Usual right back, who's now back on the pitch for Mali, playing the way out from the back, as they've done throughout this match, really. They've been very neat and tidy. Now the Eagles. Ball spread over to that right side for Traore. Another Traore. Plays a 1-2 with Koulibaly. So at the moment, Mali finishing the game with, 3 Traores and 2 Koulibalys. Sakho mistiming the pass. And this could be dangerous. They've got a couple of extra men forward here, Mali, and look at all those white shirts streaming forwards now. Can they find the right out ball? There's another steaming up that left-hand side. Halemi couldn't get his cross out, though. Has to apologise to his teammates. They really were pushing men forwards late in the game, Uganda. 1-0 down, remember. Just under 5 minutes to go, plus any stoppages, of which, to be honest, there haven't been many. So it's been played in the right spirit, this game. It's been refereed well. Mugabe thinks about thundering forwards. Wouldn't want to mark him, would you? The attempted ball forwards just cut out by Smaseku. Appears to be being given a little more licence to come forwards now, and he just saw him holding his groin there and making the fingers over fingers, fingers rolling over fingers signal to the bench, saying he needs to be substituted. Won't want to make that any worse if there is a real injury there. Good defence from Sakho. Looks up. Koulibaly can't quite make the ball stick, and then gives away the free kick, trying to win the ball back from Bevis Mugabe. And he has the signal to launch himself up towards the penalty area. And that is Diadier Smaseku, Hoffenheim midfielder. A class act in the middle there for Mali. We saw him signal just a minute or two ago to the bench that he needed to come off some sort of, looks like some sort of groin or adductor, stomach issue. He's going to limp off with his bottle of water. There's the signal, I think, to make the substitution. He was already calling to the bench a couple of moments ago. So I don't think this is time wasting. This is a change that had to happen. Looks like Mamadou Fofana might be about to come on in his place. A defender for a midfielder, but with a couple of minutes to go. Maybe one of the defenders can push up into midfield, or they sort of drop back to make a back three. I don't think Mali will want to lose bodies in midfield and lose control of the ball. They've struggled in the second half as it is, really, compared to the first half. Some good tactical adjustments from the Cranes in the second period. Oh, and a poor touch. And, well, the referee ignoring the Mali bench at the moment. Smaseku is actually coming back on after all, having called for a substitution. That leaves Mamadou Fofana on his own, and then a dangerous ball into the area. Well collected in the end by Diawara. And Mali just having to hang on a bit here. Beavis Mugabe playing as a centre forward now, being an absolute handful for Sissoko. Good play down that right-hand side. Stephen Makwala, second half sub, couldn't quite get the right touch on it. So into the final seconds now. How many minutes of added time are we going to have? We wait for the official down there at the bottom of your screen. Now, is that a substitute board or is that the added time board, I wonder? Well, 2 minutes of added time, and there's going to be a yellow card telling off for the Mali coach. Well, he's lunged in there, hasn't he? There's Khaled Aucho. Aucho indeed. And he is going to get himself a yellow card. It was pretty agricultural, to say the least, that tackle. It's not been a rough game at all. So El Bilal Toure. Fortunately, no real damage done, and Smaseku eventually comes off for Mamadou Fofana, based in Amiens, just to the northwest of Paris, in French Ligue 2. Currently in the relegation places in that, in fact, in danger of dropping out of the professional leagues in France. Ball picked up near the area, but there's no real need to attack now, is there? For Mali, they can just try and keep the ball for the next, what, 30 seconds or so. But maybe now a chance is Beavis Mugabe. And he's just let the ball run out of play. And maybe that was it for Uganda. I think they may just have exited the last chance saloon here, the Cranes. Clock ticks down to 2 minutes of added time. There'll be a few extra seconds, I'm sure, from the referee. There was a brief stoppage for that foul on Smaseku. And now Sacco appears to have left his boot in a little bit on Aucho. Maybe a little bit of revenge coming in there. Anyway, Aucho by name, Aucho by nature. It's all about intent, really, with a high boot like that. If his eye's on the ball, he's just simply clearing the ball. Let's have a look here. Well, he's just cleared the ball there. Clearly done that first. He's done his best to fold his leg out the way as well, by the looks of it. Hasn't followed through with his boot. A foul at the very worst, and I think the referee getting that one absolutely bang on yet again. Really good performance from Tessema Bamlak. There is going to be a last chance for a free kick here. Mari Traore arguing. Aucho wants to get back on the pitch, but I don't think he'll be allowed back on until the ball is in play. So I think also there's been a yellow card for Traore for arguing with the officials. Need to be careful here, Mali. He's still got 2 more matches in this qualifying phase to go. As the ball is driven into the area, there's lots of men up there. Half headed away, headed back into the danger area. And again out, cleared further out. The referee looks at his watch. And that is that. Mali 1-0 winners here at the Stade Adrar in Morocco. And with that, a Khalifa Koulibaly goal in the 19th minute, helped by some poor positioning from Ismail Watenga, the Uganda goalkeeper. The difference between the two sides, it was fairly even throughout, really, especially after the goal. And in the second half, Uganda certainly pressed forward. But for Mohamed Magasuba, he's made 9 changes to his usual side for this one. He's still got another win. He's got another clean sheet as well. So Mali had already qualified as top of Group E here in African World Cup qualifying. They now go flying through with 16 points out of a possible 18. They scored 11 goals, they've conceded none. And surely will not be a side anyone will fancy playing in the third round of World Cup qualifying. A home and away, head-to-head against one of the other 10 group winners from this stage. At the moment, that's Mali, Egypt, Senegal, Morocco and DR Congo. The other 5 to be decided over the next few days. Our officials from Ethiopia were superb today. I don't think either team can really complain about the officiating. I think pretty much every tight decision they got absolutely spot on, and without the benefit of the replay that we had. Magasuba, though, some encouraging performances there from his second string players. Some vital experience as well for players who may well be needed during the African Cup of Nations in January. May be needed in March for that final round of World Cup qualifying. The draw for that, by the way, on the 27th of January, though we don't know yet if it will be seeded or open. And if they come through that, then they'll need all the squad they've got after a hectic schedule through the European winter, when they go to the, if they can qualify for a first ever World Cup coming up in Qatar in around a year's time. So there's the group there. Mali through with 16 points, Uganda second on 9 points, Kenya and Rwanda will face off tomorrow to see who comes up in third place. Kenya obviously in pole position there, but it's Mali, Group E winners here, and through to the third round of African World Cup qualifying.